This is the re-enactment from 1813.
All rise! Hear ye, hear ye! The 26th Judicial District of the Honorable Court is now going to raise. Anyone having anything to do before the Honorable Judges Thomas A. James Jr. and Gary E. Norton, let them come forward and be heard. God bless the Commonwealth and this Honorable Court.
Be seated, please. We are convened for this en banc session of the Court of Common Pleas of what is now about to be Columbia County. By act of the Pennsylvania General Assembly approved on February 21st, 1813, Columbia County was created from the much larger Northumberland County. Now, pursuant to that act's directive, now is the time set for this court to consider the appointed commissioner's petition to run and mark a line dividing the border between Luzerne County and Columbia County, and to consider a proper location for the new courthouse and for the prison. We have therefore before us today 3 commissioners who have been appointed by the state to be temporary commissioners to carry out that directive until an election can be held. We have 3 distinguished gentlemen here. Those gentlemen are Commissioner Samuel Webb of Columbia County and Luzerne County Commissioners Alexander Jameson and, rise Mr. Jameson, and ABL Fellows. And these gentlemen and distinguished gentlemen are here to present their petition to define the Columbia County boundaries and the governmental infrastructure. So, Mr. Webb, you may proceed.
Your Honor, may I approach the bench?
You may.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Your Honors, Commissioners Alexander Jameson, ABO Fellows, and myself, Samuel Webb Jr., appear before you today to present to you the Senate and House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in General Assembly met, and it is hereby enacted by the authority of the same that from and after the first Monday in September next, that all of Northumberland County lying within the following boundaries, to wit. Commissioner Fellows, would you please demonstrate, beginning at the 9-mile tree on the bank of the northeast branch of the Susquehanna, and from thence by the line of Point Township to the line of Chillisquaque Township, thence by the line of Chillisquaque and Point Townships to the west branch of the river Susquehanna, up the same line of Lycoming County to the line of Luzerne County, thence to the line of Schuylkill County to the southwest corner of Catawissa Township, to Shamokin Township, to the river Susquehanna, and thence downward to the place of beginning, shall be, according to the present lines, declared to be erected into a county to be called Columbia.
Commissioner James enacted by the authority of the foresaid that the inhabitants of the said county of Columbia, after the first Monday in September next, be entitled to and shall have all the courts, jurisdictions, offices, and rights and privileges to which the inhabitants of all other counties in this state are entitled by the Constitution and the laws of the Commonwealth. And be it further enacted by the authority of the foresaid that from and after the first Monday of March, 1814, several courts in and for this county of Columbia shall be opened and held at such house as hereinafter provided for in the said county of Columbia. And that 2 persons shall be commissioned judges of the Court of Common Pleas in and for the said county of Columbia. And be it further enacted that all taxes or arrears of taxes laid or which have become due within the said County of Columbia before the passing of this act, and all sums of money due this Commonwealth for militia fines and in the County of Columbia shall be collected and recovered as if this act had not been passed.
Your Honor, if it may please the court.
Mr. Fellows.
And be it further enacted by the authority of aforesaid, that the governor be, and he is hereby authorized and required, on or before the first day of May next, ensuing, to appoint 3 discrete and disinterested persons, not residents in the counties of Northumberland, Union, or Columbia, whose duty it shall be, after being sworn or affirmed before some judge or justice of the peace, to fix upon a proper and convenient.
Order, sirs. Order. It's a court of law. Continue, Mr. Fellows.
Thank you, Judge. A proper and convenient site for a courthouse, a prison, and the county offices within the aforesaid County of Columbia, as near the center as the situation therefore will admit, and the said persons, or a majority of them, having viewed the relative advantages of the several situations contemplated by the people, shall on or before the first day of July next, by a written report under their hands, certify, describe the lot of land that shall become the site chosen for the purposes aforesaid, and shall transmit the said report to the governor of this Commonwealth, and the person so as aforesaid shall receive $3 per day for their services out of the monies to be raised pursuant this act.
And Your Honor, if I may,
It's okay, Mr. Webb. Go ahead.
be it further enacted by the authority of aforesaid, that it shall and may be lawful for the commissioners of County of Columbia, who shall be elected at the next annual election, to take assurance, that's the next election, to take assurances to them and their successors in office of such lot or piece of ground as shall have been approved by the persons appointed aforesaid.
Or a majority of them.
Objection!
Overruled. Objection overruled.
Yes,
Objection?
yes, a majority, for the purpose of erecting thereon a courthouse and jail and offices for the safekeeping of the records, and that for defraying the expenses thereof of the county commissioners, are hereby authorized to assess, levy, and collect in the manner directed by the acts for raising county rates and levies a sufficient sum to defray the expenses thereof.
And be it further enacted that the commissioners of the said county are hereby required to procure a suitable house as near as the aforesaid lot or piece of ground as conveniently may be until this act is authorized and the courthouse is built. If the court will permit, Your Honor, Mr. James Laird is in possession of the most recent petition results. May he approach?
Certainly. Mr. Laird, please approach.
Yes, Your Honors. May it please the court.
Certainly.
On March the 5th, 1813, I, James Laird, presented 28 petitions from 1,600 inhabitants, chiefly of that part of the county of Northumberland lying between the northeast and west branches of the river Susquehanna, praying that a new county may be laid off and organized, comprising that part of said county commonly called the Forks, with the exception of Point Township, and including the townships of Mifflin and Catawissa, and that the same may be called Columbia. And these petitions were twice read and referred to the Committee of the Whole when the law... when the law for that purpose shall be under consideration. Also presented were sundry remonstrances from 484 inhabitants of that part of Northumberland County situated in the forks of the north and west branches of the Susquehanna, protesting against a division and the creation of a new county from that of Northumberland. And the same were twice read and also referred to the Committee of the Whole.
What committee?
Listen. Order in this court. Let's be civil. Please sit down, ma'am. You may proceed, Mr. Laird.
Thank you, Your Honors. One of the amendments for creating a new county called Columbia requires those arrested be confined in Northumberland's jail until a Columbia County built its own prison. 2 days ago, on March the 20th, 1813, the Pennsylvania Senate voted to create a new county called Columbia from Northumberland. The affirmative yeas were 16 and the nays were 10. Yesterday, the Pennsylvania House approved the establishment of Columbia County.
Gentlemen, one more outburst and you're going out of here with a shirt. Thank you, Mr. Laird, for that petition. And if I may say so, it having been enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in the General Assembly met, and by the authority of the same, gentlemen, it is hereby ordered that Samuel Webb, Jr. of Columbia County and Alexander Jameson and Abel Fellows of Luzerne County are hereby appointed as commissioners for the purpose of running and marking the lines that will divide the county of Luzerne from the county of Columbia. So ordered. Okay, are there any other petitions to be presented?
Yes, Your Honors. May it please the court?
State your name, ma'am.
I am Mrs. Elijah Burnside. Your Honors,
Proceed.
I would like to petition the court on behalf of my husband, Mr. Elijah Burnside, who is ill and could not be in attendance today. I recognize that it is highly unusual for a woman to be speaking in such matters, if not, in fact, illegal. But I beg your indulgence on these important matters. May I approach the bench?
You may. It's the first time a woman's been in here, but that's okay.
Thank you, Your Honors. On my husband's behalf, then, and at his behest, I present to you 16 separate petitions and 574 signatures from inhabitants of Turbot and Chillisquaque townships. Though originally part of Northumberland County, your actions here today would make them part of this newly formed Columbia County. We do not wish to be part of Columbia County and hereby petition the court that we be re-annexed to Northumberland County. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak for my husband today and for your consideration, Your Honors, of this request.
It's our pleasure, Ms. Burnside. Your husband's petition and the total of 574 inhabitants requesting the annexation of Turbot and Chillisquaque townships back to Northumberland County will be reviewed the first day of next May and possibly in 37 years.
We are very patient.
Your Honor, may I approach?
And who may you be?
I am Miss Catherine Montour. I am the daughter of the esteemed diplomat and interpreter, Madame Montour. Myself and my esteemed colleagues, the commissioners of Danville, the citizens of Danville in the lower county, refuse to have a courthouse in Bloomsburg. We refuse to travel such a great distance to conduct business. And we hereby demand the courthouse remain in Danville. You are speechless.
Listen, order, everybody. Look, gentlemen, I know you're trying to make this a court of political masonry, but it is not. And you know what? Let's just cut straight to the chase. Mr. Schaefer, will you escort these people out?
See here! This community is an insult to the world.
Yes.
Insult to the world. We are going to take with us what is rightfully the center of all the counties in question.
Yes.
You will not.
Unhand her.
That's it!
No need to escort us out. We're leaving anyway. And we're going to build a bigger courthouse in Danville.
Somebody get her.
Leave her hands off of her. Come with me. Back to the good county. Back where you're welcome.
I have always just depended on the kindness of Montour County.
Mr. Spinn, Mr. Durst, and Mr. Ward, don't let the door strike you on your way out.
Old Mother Northumberland certainly has seen better days.
Hear, hear.
One more sentence. Well, old Mother Northumberland may have seen better days, but the young, vibrant, emerging Columbia County will move on to days and a prosperous future, economically, commercially, educationally, and culturally. We look forward to it. And this concludes our very dramatic and very loose and very anachronistic reenactment of the birth of Columbia County, and we thank everybody who participated. I would just ask if commissioners could put those hats on. It isn't the same without the hats on. Particularly Mr. Young.
You'll never see it again.
I'm not sure. This board...
We haven't rehearsed this far yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't. So
Stay there.
we're running by the seat of our pants here. Kind of like we've been doing this for the past 9 months.
Gentlemen, come on up and stand with us. Commissioners, come on up and stand with us.
The current Board of Commissioners are really excited to have been able to have done this. It just kept growing and kept getting better and better. And somewhere along the line, we were able to throw a little humor into it. We're really excited and proud and glad that our fellow commissioners from Montour were able to come and help us. They just made it fun. And let us not forget our friends at the Bloomsburg Theater Ensemble. Where are they?
I carry this with me anytime I move Commissioner Kovach. But I must say, Commissioner Kovach, we do have something. We're going to do the proclamation in a second.
Yes.
You want to say something first?
No, go ahead.
I do want to turn the program over just a second to my good friend and an excellent jurist, Judge Gary Norton, who has a citation to present, and it's not the type that many of you get out in groves. Judge Norton.
Thank you, Judge James. Mr. Kovach, could you take front and center, please? Now, Dave, true to form, just stole his own thunder. But Mr. Kovach, David, has been the moving force for the better part of about a year of planning.
Long enough to have a baby.
There you go. Stay tuned. You never know. But Dave has really just pulled this whole thing together. Everything from the funding issues, which we dealt with early on, to this presentation, to a tank rolling into town tomorrow at noon. So we thought it was appropriate to issue a citation to our esteemed commissioner, which I would like to read into whatever record is being kept here today. But Mr. Kovac, this is a citation in appreciation to you for your extraordinary efforts in chairing the Bicentennial Committee to celebrate the 1813 founding of Columbia County, Pennsylvania. And as citations read, like Greek, whereas Columbia County was formed as a separate governmental entity in March of 1813, and it is now time to celebrate the 200th anniversary of that landmark event. And whereas the Columbia County Commissioner, David Kovac, has chaired the committee assigned to bring to life the bicentennial celebration, and whereas Commissioner Kovac has worked tirelessly with numerous volunteers and with inspiring enthusiasm to make this celebration a resounding success, reflecting on the past and looking forward to a prosperous future for Columbia County citizenry. Now, therefore, on behalf of the Columbia County Commissioners, the courts, the Columbia County Bicentennial Committee, and the people of Columbia County, we extend our heartfelt appreciation to Commissioner David Kovac for his extraordinary energy, enthusiasm, creativity, and spirit in chairing the Columbia County Bicentennial Committee. Witness our hands and seals on this 22nd day of March 2013. Commissioner Chris Young has signed it, Commissioner Richard Ridgway, President Judge James, Judge Gary Norton, and Melissa Eckroth on behalf of the Bicentennial Committee. Please join me in congratulating.
I almost don't know what to say. Almost. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this. Oh my gosh. I was just a mouthpiece. Back 9 months ago when we started, and I've said this before and I'll probably say it again, we had enough money to buy a cupcake and one candle and sing happy birthday to us. Well, between then and now, it just was like a snowball going downhill. Our two major sponsors, First Columbia Bank and First Keystone Community Bank, said, you know what, we're going to help you out. And it just went from there. And the ideas just kept coming. The committee actually formed 2 years ago at an appropriate time. As they were just getting started, a little water event came in September 2011. Well, we weren't paying any attention to the celebration. So till we were able to get our eyes clear and get reorganized and get started, the original chairman, Andre Dominguez, is Andre here? Andre Dominguez, a big history fella, was the chairman. And then it was like April or May of last year, and his fortunes changed to the... Is there a ghost? His fortunes changed to the good for him, and he left the area. So here's this whole committee of 20-some people, lots of good ideas, and nowhere to go. And a couple folks thought about it, and it just wasn't going anywhere. And then I said, hey, you know what? I've jumped in the pool before. Here goes. Everybody just got excited about it, and it just kept adding on. So we've kind of been running by the seat of our pants a little bit. If we've missed anybody, let me just do a blanket apology. I'm sorry. But all things considered, look at the excitement. Look, we have a full courthouse, and I'm the only one that got a citation.